Please welcome 3 representatives to the Board of Trustees who will now offer greetings to President Kevin Weinman. On behalf of the faculty, Associate Professor of History and Chair of the Faculty, Nicholas Marshall. On behalf of the alumni, President of the Alumni Association and member of the class of 1982, Eileen Gilfedder Altobelli. And on behalf of the students, Student Body President and member of the class of 2023, Gabriel Borbon.
The faculty offer warm greetings to President Weinman. We look forward to a continued, productive, and collegial relationship as Marist moves into the future. That's really all I have to say. I could save us some time and immediately go sit back down and revel in holding the ceremonial mace, right? This medieval weapon that I got to wield for some reason today. I'm still a bit unclear on exactly what I'm supposed to use it for or who I'm supposed to use it on. Some of my faculty colleagues may agree, perhaps on students who neglect to proofread their papers. Maybe the plague of groundhogs that we see all around campus. Patriots fans? All right, now, for those of you from New England, and I know there's some folks here on the stage, I apologize, but you have to know your audience at some point. Okay, we do know that the mace was originally intended to protect the new office holder from resistance among the masses. So along those lines, have no fear, Kevin, I'm ready to handle any student who's deeply troubled by the state of the pizza in the dining hall. By the way, I have my eye out for you, Andrew Breen. He was in my class last semester and said he was traumatized by the pepperoni that he received. So, Andrew, I've got the mace. Okay, but I'm not going to sit down, right? When did any academic pass up the chance to provide context and some apt quotations? Okay, the other day, doing some light reading, I was going through Frederick Douglass's 1876 speech that memorialized Abraham Lincoln at the dedication ceremony of the Freedmen's Monument in Washington, D.C. And I was struck by 2 especially apt comments on leadership. Now, little side note, the original draft of this speech said I was struck by 16 especially apt comments, and my wife read this over and she said in so many words, "Are you an idiot?" Edit. Okay, so it's only 2. The first of these comments on leadership appeared when Douglass spoke of Lincoln's personal qualities, and I think these apply directly to the position of a college president. Douglass said of Lincoln, quote, "Though high in position, the humblest could approach him and feel at home in his presence. Though deep, he was transparent. Though strong, he was gentle. Though decided and pronounced in his convictions, he was tolerant towards those who differed from him and patient under reproaches." Those of us who have gotten to know Kevin this past year may see some of these same characteristics in him, all to the good. Okay, the second of Douglass's leadership insights emphasizes the importance of taking the long view of accomplishment rather than focus on short-term gains. He also recognizes the necessity of political acumen in achieving these goals. This is something I think is especially important for you, President Weinman, to keep in mind when setbacks occur. During the Civil War, Douglass was frustrated by Lincoln's blinders regarding questions of equality and the slow movement toward emancipation. And in that 1876 speech, he pointedly noted the criticism that Lincoln received from the more radical Republicans of the day, like Douglass himself, who wanted immediate action. So Douglass said, quote, "Viewed from the genuine abolition ground, Mr. Lincoln seemed tardy, cold, dull, and indifferent," end quote. Okay, I just have to say that kind of applies to many of our 8 a.m. sections on Wednesday. Tardy, cold, dull, and indifferent, perhaps? Okay, Viewed from the genuine abolition ground, Mr. Lincoln seemed tardy, cold, dull, and indifferent. But then, in recognition of the importance of actually completing a task in a complicated real-world circumstance, Douglas added, but measuring him, quote, but measuring him by the sentiment of his country, a sentiment he was bound as a statesman to consult, he was swift, zealous, radical, and determined. Okay, now by quoting Douglas on Lincoln, I'm not suggesting that Marist College is entering upon a civil war with the faculty in Fontaine, I see some of you over here, about to secede from the college over perceived conspiracies against them, or that President Weinman should be directly compared to Abraham Lincoln, though perhaps we should give him an axe and see how he does splitting rails. But I do think Douglas's overarching practical vision offers useful context. Yes, President Weinman, there will be bumps along the way, yet working with an open mind and heart and keeping the eyes on the larger prize, remarkable progress is indeed possible. Welcome.
Today's ceremony is the official start of Kevin's tenure as the 5th president of the college. Yet in less than 3 weeks, he will celebrate his 1-year anniversary as the leader of this wonderful institution. Over the course of the past 11 months, he has worked tirelessly to learn about Marist, our culture, the heritage, and the guiding principles handed down by the Marist brothers. He has engaged with and listened to the priorities of the different constituent groups that make up the entirety of the Marist community. And at the same time, he has begun to construct a framework which will lead Marist successfully into the future. On behalf of the Marist Alumni Association, I extend the warmest of welcomes to Kevin and his family, his wife Beth, his son Alex, and his daughter Brooke. Kevin, even before you stepped onto the campus, it was apparent that you would be focused on student success and working to ensure that every student has the opportunity to experience all that Marist has to offer. And it was also clear to me, as a proud graduate of the class of '82, that you recognize the role alumni can play in supporting you as you build a roadmap for the future direction of the college. You have traveled east and west, north and south, to meet with alumni of all ages, to listen to their Marist experiences and hear what it was like 5, 10, 40, 60 years ago to be a student here in Poughkeepsie. You have been briefed on the cherished traditions of the college, and you have discovered why we love this place and why we are excited about the opportunities your leadership will create for the long term. Yes, Marist does prepare its graduates for success by providing an excellent education. Red Foxes leave the Hudson Valley and Florence, Italy, with the skills, experiences, and confidence to achieve great things in their post-grad lives. We attract a diverse student body, geographically, socioeconomically, and ethnically, from within the U.S. and across the globe, which creates a unique opportunity for a shared sense of community and belonging. However, an excellent education is not solely what makes Marist Marist. We are not a large school. With about 6,000 current students and 49,000 alum, we are solidly a mid-sized institution. Yet the loyalty and fondness that Red Fox grads have for the college belie our size and our numbers. It's common these days for colleges and universities to promote lifelong learning programs, Marist included. Yet as importantly, Marist creates an environment where lifelong friendships with classmates, faculty, staff begin and then continue to grow and deepen as the years goes on. And these relationships enrich our lives and experiences. Having an appreciation and understanding from where the college has come is important as you tackle the opportunities and challenges that lie ahead. And we know we cannot remain so tied to the past that we impede moving into the future. Kevin, the Marist alumni community is excited about your leadership, and we look forward to assisting you accomplish both the essential and aspirational goals you have begun to set forth. And with your experience, your enthusiasm, your financial expertise, the team you have put together, and your desire to see that every Marist student succeed, the college is well positioned to reach its full potential. Welcome.
Good afternoon. A few weeks ago, I was asked to participate in this inauguration and speak on behalf of the student body. Coincidentally, this lines up with my role on campus. So let me just say it's been an honor to be here and share my thoughts with you. A year ago, the former student body president, Tenzin Sundu, and I were talking about what it'd be like to have a new college president. He told me that the search for Marist's new president was coming to a close. And believe me when I say he was very excited about the choice. Once Kevin Wyman's name was publicly announced, Tenzin Sundu was singing his praises. This was exciting, but hearing about Dr. Wyman and meeting him were two very different things. So let me describe to you the sequence of events and the feeling of the students after Dr. Wyman's first few days on campus. Dr. Wyman's first meeting on his very first day was with the student government. That fact alone should tell you a lot about how much he values the students at Marist. I specifically remember this meeting because more than half of the assembly was starstruck. It felt like we were all in the presence of a rock star. But the best feeling we took away from this meeting was the sense that Dr. Wyman truly wanted to help the students in any way that he could, and he intently listened to every one of our concerns. During Dr. Wyman's first few days on campus, he had already begun to make his presence known. From my perspective, what probably had the biggest impact was when he started holding student office hours. This really showed students that he was interested in learning about Marist culture and listening to students' experiences and concerns, which we all know are very unique and can differ depending on the student. In addition to student government, other students around campus also seemed excited about the new president on campus. I think what was remarkable was that within the first few weeks, the common feeling among the students was that this is the guy. The dude, if you will. Dr. Wyman had become so involved on campus, he had earned a new nickname among the students, going from President Wyman to K-Dubs. A great example of why the students were comfortable with giving him a nickname is Move-In Day 2022. To give you some perspective, this year's Move-In Day was hot. Now, I don't mean that it was a little bit warm. I mean that it felt like New York was on an island in the equator, kind of hot. During the day, my vice president and I were walking around campus and talking to as many parents as we could for a couple of hours. But eventually, because of the heat, we had to take a break and to drink some water. While running around, however, we ran into Dr. Wyman, and lo and behold, he had been doing the exact same thing we were doing. Except that he'd been walking around for even longer than we had, he talked to more people than we did, and most importantly, he was helping parents feel at ease that they were leaving their children in the right place. Just from these stories alone, I'm sure you can infer that Dr. Wyman is a genuine and approachable individual who has immersed himself fully in campus life. In one short year, he has shown that he is dedicated to helping students develop the intellect, character, and skills required for enlightened, ethical, and productive lives. Dr. Wyman has done a great job making all students feel at home at Marist, and we hope that our welcome has done the same for him. After getting to know Dr. Wyman over the past year, I've come to the solid conclusion that he truly cares about the Marist students and the entire Marist community. I think that the entire campus can rest assured that the future of Marist College is bright and that there are even better days to come. So thank you everyone for your time, and as always, go Red Foxes.